أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مدد يا سيدي وتقبل المولى محمد نازل حقاني مدد يا سيدي يا مولانا الشيخ الشمساني. Alhamdulillah, there are the Shaykhs and there are the guides, and then another Shaykh and a guide asking to be nothing that Allah grant us rida and satisfaction. Always a reminder for myself and speaking and talking and advising myself that is in most need of a reminder. That alhamdulillah, Mawlana Shaykh reminding us of al-Muhasebah, to take an accounting of ourselves, and the link between the Muhasebah and the purpose of our life. The purpose of our life and the highest darajat of our existence on this earth is to be of service. To be of service to Allah, to be of service to Prophet Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Atiyullah, Atiyur Rasul, wa Ulul Amr minkum. That to be of service to Allah, to be of service to Prophet, to be of service to Ulul Amr, and to be of service to Allah's creation. That is the reality of haqa'iq and the people of tasawwuf that they inherit from their understanding of the reality of prophecy. That Sayyidina Muhammad came to give the example of the best of character. With that great character was able to serve Allah, therefore had a tremendous purpose on this dunya. If we lose sight of that reality, we immediately lose our target. But we call khidmat. If no khidmat, no rahmat. That the door of khidmat and service is a door that opens Allah's Divinely rahmah and rahmah. That rahmah gives our purpose in life, gives the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the prayers that we pray, everything, it gives it its sweetness, it gives it its flavor, it gives it its energy. The Muhasebah is to account every night that if that is my goal, because some may say, no, that's not my goal, then you find a different group and a different understanding. Those that are coming towards tariqah and the way of this reality, the naqshbandi, al-aliyah, is to be of service and to have a purpose in life greater than the purpose of myself and my self-indulgence and my self-pleasures and what myself wants. That self is to be destroyed so that the self doesn't exist, and all that exists is Allah's kingdom. What does Allah's kingdom want? What does Allah want for me? What does Prophet want for me? What does Ulul Amr want for me? And they teach us, we want you to be of service. Muhasebah is every night I sit and meditate that, Ya Rabbi, am I on that target? With my actions that I'm doing, Prophet reminding in the state of al-Muhasebah that, my Lord, don't leave me for a blink of an eye under my nafs, because at any moment my nafs will trick me that, don't do your Muhasebah, don't do your accounting, don't do your accounting, don't do your accounting, and in no time we find our life is purely for dunya. Dunya can mean money, wealth, sex, drugs, power, all encapsulated in one word called dunya, material desires. It's not for mawla and it's not for akhirah. That a life that not living for akhirah is a life that better to be dead. In this word Sahabi, Ya Rabbi, if my Tulul Amr, if the time of my life is not to improve myself, I'm better to be dead, better to be in the grave. At least in the grave the bad writing stops. If my life is to be elongated and given a long life just to write azab, then Ya Rabbi, let me to go. I'm better to go into the grave. We see from awliyaullah that when they're praying, they were praying to leave. Mawlana Shaykh was praying, I'm ready to go. Ya Rabbi, end this affliction upon me, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for my departure from this world, because they understood that this abode is abode of affliction. This is the dunya of difficulty. If you are serving, if you serve yourself, this is the abode of a tremendous pleasure. Because you use all of it to make pleasure for yourself. They teach us, no, if you are making your muhasebah and your accounting, you are cheating yourself and lying to yourself, that you live a life of service. Ya Rabbi, am I serving you? Am I serving Prophet and am I serving Ulul Amr? Is my life a life of service? And every night keeping that muhasebah so that I don't fall off track more than one night or 2 nights or 3 nights. That all of a sudden I feel I'm doing something, and then by taking an account of myself, is that what I'm doing, is that for your akhirah? And clearly by making your connection with Mawlana Shaykh, making your connection with the big Shaykhs. Mawlana Shaykh Hisham is a tremendous soul. By sitting and making tafakkur and saying, Ya Rabbi, let me to keep their company. This was the order of your Qur'an. Kun ma sadiqin. Didn't say physically, but Ya Rabbi, I can't be with him physically. Let my soul to be with his soul, let me to feel that presence and to make that light, that reality is more real for Allah than our physical being. That reality has no time. Allah has no time. That you're always in that ocean of arwah and souls. Why is it that you don't remember? Tafakkur is contemplation, tadhakkir is to remember. Remember something that already took place. That you are in that ocean with them, remember your presence with them. As soon as you ask to be with them, ask to be with them, ask to be with them, and then say, Ya Rabbi, let me take muhasebah of myself. Where is my course going? Am I moving towards you? Am I moving towards Prophet? Am I moving towards Ulul Amr? Is my life a life of service? That is then the secret and treasure of our existence. Then they teach from themselves. They say, no, I'd rather sit at home. I don't need to come to the zikr, I'm not getting anything from the zikr. I actually get sick when I come to the zikr. The energy of people may come upon and make the shaykh sick. So the zikr is like an abode of difficulty. With what has opened within our hearts, it's much nicer to sit at home. Sit at home, do our tafakkur, do our contemplation. What Allah wants to bestow, we don't have to see the faces we don't want to see. We don't have to go through the difficulty that we don't want to go through. And immediately that night they come to you and they remind you. Because you have to learn from your teacher and your teacher, and that one learns from his teacher. Right at 70 years old, he's still going all across the world. It's very tiring, very sickening, very expensive. And it reminds you that you go because what we are dressing you with was to be of service. They are taking from that fountain to give back to people. You are taking from that light to give back to people. We are bestowing upon you knowledges to give freely to the people. You cannot charge for what Allah gave. There's the difference between us and all sorts of, they have in downtown spiritual clinics. They charge $3,000, $2,000, $4,000. You can't charge for what Allah gave to you of light, of knowledges and of reality. You can inspire people to give and to contribute and to participate. But they teach that everything that Allah is bestowing upon you, that fountain of abundance flows upon you because you are of service. Serve as much as you can. With whatever hardship you feel you're going through, you go through that hardship and serve and serve and serve, and they dress you and they bless you and they give you more patience. They begin to teach that is our life, and that is a life worth living. that what they bestow upon you is not yours. If they give you time, that time is not yours to be wasted. Because everyone comes back to their own story. So I worked hard all my life, this is now my time. That's incorrect, because the Shaykh is not doing that. There's no Shaykh who's been put out to pasture, where you see a Shaykh at like 70 years old who's going to Hawaii now, relaxing, enjoying the sun. That's all my life I've been running around for people. Now it's my time to go to Hawaii and sit on the beach, take my clothes off. There's no Shaykh that does that. They run them till they're 120 years old. Even on their qabr and on their deathbed they're giving salats. And people don't stop coming and touching them and making them to be sicker. What they inflicted upon Mawlana Shaykh is unimaginable. How much they turned on machines, turned off machines, and did difficulty upon the physical body, not just giving any moment of peace. And this was an example for us. There is no peace for you until you take your last breath, if you want to live a life of service. That life of service makes Allah to be happy. That life of service makes Prophet to be happy. That life of service makes Ulul Amr to be around you and to support you. Then we go back into our own lives and begin to understand. If you have an ability, you must be serving Allah. If you have a time, you must be serving Allah. If you have a moment to clean and to vacuum, you must be serving Allah. If you have money to spare, you must be giving in Allah's way. Everything, قُلْ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّ السُّوقِ وَإِحْمَيَّايَ وَإِمَامَتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That everything about me and my life, my wealth, my property, my family is all for Allah. And that is a life of service, and that is a life that has tremendous barakah. And then they begin to teach us. Coming to the zikr is not a service. The fact that you ate the food here, alhamdulillah. You used the toilet paper, alhamdulillah. You used the napkins and the salt, alhamdulillah for you. They didn't do anything for us. Service means I'm going to serve. I want to give my life, my time, my ability, what's been given to me, I want it to be in your way, Ya Rabbi. And many people, when they analyze that, they don't serve a minute in Allah's way. They go masjid, they go everywhere. But that was for you. Ya Abdi, you say, Ya Rabbi, I prayed. I say, but that was for you. I did zikr, but that was for you. I ate the food at the zikr, but that was for you. I worked, but that was for you. So then they begin to teach that what are we doing for Allah. If we work hard and we give in Allah's way, that was for Allah. If we work hard and have free time and serve and donate that time, that was for Allah. Not the time you get paid. Allah doesn't care the time you got paid because you took its benefit, you took the pay. It's the time that you didn't get paid, Allah says. So you work for me if you don't get paid? Very few people have the ability to say, yes, Ya Rabbi, I would gladly give my time, my life, my way to serve you. Many who have pure belief say, I would put oil upon my beard and I would clean the floor of Rawza Sharif if you would open for me. And Allah said, no, you would never do that. It's just a talk because you know that will never open. But you can find any of my masjids and go clean it and not be known. You can find anywhere where you feel the presence and the light and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad and dust it and wipe it and clean it. Clean it with your own beard. If you see a dusty picture, take your beard and clean that. That dust is holier than you. Because of what emanating and the tanzil al-rahmah that emanating upon the houses of zikr and the houses of Allah. Is they teach us the depth of that life. That no, it's not my time, no, it's not my food. The food in your house that you're cooking to prepare for the zikr It's not your food, it's Allah's ni'mat that He gave to you, Allah's rizq and sustenance that He gave to you. That you would take your portion and a portion would be given back to the people. And those are the difference of the servants of Allah. They realize whatever they have of everything Allah gives to them, they are managers of their portion, and the other portion is given back to the people to be of service. So that Allah be rida with them, Prophet be rida with them, and the Ulul Amr support and be happy with them. And that is always a reminder for ourselves. And that can only be with every night making muhasebah. That every night, that Rabbi, don't let me to fall within that blink. That I may go 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, and then be convinced what I'm doing is correct. Well, I'm not serving, and now I'm in the world of imagination and hallucination. With muhasebah and connecting with them, stop hallucinating, stop having crazy thoughts. Stop having crazy thoughts about other people and their families. Don't hallucinate and enter into the world of hallucination, but come back to what's real. Come back to what are you doing? For some people, if they don't do their accounting and they don't do their tafakkur, they begin to think, maybe I'm like Donald Trump, maybe I'm like this, maybe I'm like that, maybe the whole world is meant to open for me and I'm going to be the great one. What the heck are you talking? What great one? In the end you're going to be a dead one. And what you're going to come to me with? Your hallucinations? So the importance of muhasebah is that to keep us in check, to keep us in our coordinates. As soon as you make muhasebah, you begin to train, you fix yourself, you focus upon yourself, you struggle against yourself. As soon as you want to struggle against yourself, then you begin to improve your appearance. That keep the way of Prophet. The way of Prophet is a protection for you. It's not a political statement for other people. But you must be looking like the one whom you love. You must be walking in the path of the one whom you love. You must be serving the one whom you love. If it is Sayyidina Muhammad that you love. Sayyidina Muhammad doesn't look like a rap star. He never dressed like a rap star, nor does he care to even look at that appearance of a rap star. He looks at Sunnah of the Nabi. He says that I take a pleasure in looking at the one who looks like me. The angels take a pleasure in looking at the one who looks like Prophet. That is just the entry level of muhasebah. That when we keep our muhasebah and keep our accounting, we're constantly keeping our coordinates. That is everything with the Ulul Amr good. Am I doing what they're inspiring me? Is everything with Prophet good? Am I keeping the greatness of the flag of Prophet? Or am I killing the Sunnah of Sayyidina? That any Sunnah that you don't keep, as if you try to kill that Sunnah. We are the revivers of the Sunnah. Means that if Prophet used the siwak, we keep the siwak. If Prophet had his head covered, there's never a moment that you'll see a naqshbandi Shaykh without his head covered. You see him in a car, he won't be driving around with a bald head. He has his head covered as a sign of his humility, as a sign of keeping the way of Prophet. Because at any moment Sayyidina Muhammad is watching. That you find in muhasebah. I mean, it's not imitating in front of people, thinking that people will think you're pious. But what you do by yourself all the time, that awliyaullah are watching, Prophet watching, malaika watching, even mu'min jinn are watching.